Hello and welcome to this episode of the Business Spotlight. Today we're joined by Lisa. Hello, Lisa.
Hi.
Thanks for joining us today. So we're really excited that you've joined us and we're really excited to find out a bit more about yourself. So the goal of the Business Spotlight is for us to learn a little bit more about you and a bit more about your business, just so that we can help inspire some of our viewers that are mainly thinking about getting into business for themselves or maybe even starting that entrepreneurship journey. So, Lisa, if you could just kick us off by telling the viewers who you are, how long you've been doing it, and what you do.
Okay, yeah. Thanks for having me, first of all. My name's Lisa Faulks. My business is called Social Elements, and we are a social media marketing agency for the life sciences mainly. I've been a freelance social media consultant for coming up to 6 years now. Well, actually longer than that. It's probably about 6.5 years, but I started the business 6 years ago this March. So this December. So we're about to have our 6th anniversary.
Wow, fantastic. So, I mean, Lisa, what makes you different from the other people that do what you do? You know, your competitors. What makes you stand out?
Yeah, that's a good question. There's lots and lots of social media marketing people around and lots of agencies around as well. I think there's several things that makes us unique compared with our competitors. One is that we work within quite a defined niche. So we work with clients who operate within the life science industry. So that includes companies that are small biotechs, health tech, med tech, and sort of general healthcare type companies. So that's one element that stands us apart from competitors. The second element is that we, rather than a full service digital marketing agency, we tend to specialize and focus on social media marketing. We can offer our clients other services aside from social media, but we pride ourselves in being expert in social. And I think that means we can deliver a better service to our clients because we stay, ahead of the trends. We make sure that we're up to date, and we can really give our clients the best service possible. And the third element really that helps us to stand out from our competitors is that we offer quite a bespoke service. So clients come to us and tell us what their needs are and their budget, and their ultimate goals, and we tailor our offering around their needs and their goals. And again, that's quite unusual. I think a lot of marketing agencies or social media consultants will have defined packages that clients have to purchase, and that doesn't always work. All businesses are different, they all have different goals, they all have different challenges, so we try to be flexible as much as we can.
Wow, that's so key as well. I mean, you not only niche down from an industry specific, but also tailoring everything as a package to those individual client needs. That's really powerful stuff there. So thanks for sharing that, Lisa. So what's the journey been like so far? I mean, from since you started the company to sort of where you are now.
I mean, I think we've been really lucky. I started the business and I just worked on my own initially. I was a freelance consultant. I've always kind of worked within the healthcare life science niche. My background is in pharmaceutical drug development, so it just made sense for me to stick to the industry that I know about. And I think over the years, the business is kind of just grown organically from being just me to having other consultants come work with me. And I think, even during the times of the pandemic, because of the niche that we worked within, we've always been pretty busy. And because we have expertise in that kind of industry, clients tend to come to us for that. So So yeah, so business has been good. It's been steadily growing year on year. And now I work with 16 associates. So I only work with other freelancers and other contractors. We have no permanent members of staff. But yeah, I do have 16 associates that are sort of signed on with social elements. And they have expertise in a range of skills, from copywriting to social media marketing to graphic design to SEO. So we have a lot of skills within the organisation.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. That is a really sort of wide range of skills that you've got there. So, I mean, that sort of brings us up to speed. So, I mean, looking forwards into the future, I mean, what do you see are going to be the main challenges coming up for you, Lisa?
Well, I think the economic climate is definitely a challenge to watch. This year, especially, I've seen a drive from companies to take their marketing more in-house, rather than have sort of external freelance support for them. So I think that's definitely a challenge. And also, people are kind of less reluctant to spend money at the moment, which is a bit of a catch-22, really. You do kind of need to invest money in your marketing in order to grow your company. But, in times of economic uncertainty, the first thing you want to do is sort of pull back on spending. I get it. So I think that will be a challenge. And then also looking towards the kind of all the new AI tools that are out there, the chat GPTs and everything. I think not necessarily a challenge, but there's an opportunity there for us to incorporate that in the business and to make sure that we're giving clients the best service possible while also trying to be as efficient as possible.
Yeah, I think that's quite a key thing. And I've been speaking to quite a few people about the AI side of things now. And I think there's a lot of companies now that are embracing it. I think there was a bit of resistance at first, but it seems to be the general consensus is to sort of embrace and adapt and utilize the AI side of things.
Yeah, I think it's a really, really good tool. And, it's one of those things that's here to stay. But I think there's, a word of caution should be, used in that. I think you still need to employ your own sort of human intellect when using the tools, and they're only as good as the instructions that you give them as well at the moment, I feel. And of course, a lot of the information that the companies we work with, it's proprietary information, and it's kind of not out there on the internet. And so those sort of AI tools do have limited value for information where it is already, where it's proprietary.
Yeah, I think that's key. And I think, like you say, the expertise that you've got in your sort of given field, like you've mentioned, the areas that you've worked in. So, I mean, moving on to yourself then, Lisa, I mean, as the business owner, what would you say has been the biggest lesson today that, one that really stands out there for you?
I think the biggest lesson for me is learning that you can't do everything yourself. And I kind of learned early on that if I was going to succeed, I would need to rely on other people as well to support and help me. So I think it's key to try and find experts within different niches, whether that's, coaching support or accountancy support or someone to do your marketing for you. I think it's important to have a network of key people that you can rely on.
Yeah, I think that's a very powerful share there. So thank you for that. I think it's never a truer word spoken. So on that note then, Lisa, I mean, I'm going to ask one of our favourite questions now. We're going to go back in time and you're going to go up to an 18-year-old yourself and you're going to give yourself the best piece of advice that you can give. What would that be?
Oh, God, 18, that feels like a long time ago. I think probably don't be afraid to take chances. I think the 18-year-old me was a lot more nervous and, you know, sort of scared of taking opportunities that came up. So I think, yeah, just have the confidence to go out there and to try. And, you know, like the 18-year-old me would never have sort of done networking or anything like that. And I think, you know, people aren't that bad, are they, at networking? They're fine, and you never know what sort of opportunity comes your way. So try to be sort of open to opportunity. I think that's the advice I'd give myself.
Yeah, it's always an interesting one, and it's quite a common theme about, you know, not having the fear or taking the leap or taking the opportunities seems to be quite a common theme. So I think that's something that a lot of us sort of share in common from where we are now or to where we would have been back then. So, I mean, on that note, what really inspires you, Lisa? I mean, what is it that sort of puts that fire in your belly to do what you do each day, each week?
Well, it sounds a bit cliche, but it's my family that drove me to start the business in the first place. So I set up Social Elements because I wanted a career that enabled me to have more flexibility around my family. The irony is that when you run your own business, you probably have less time than when you're employed. But I think, yeah, the main drive is to produce something that, you know, is going to be long lasting, and you know, something that we can sort of all feel proud of. But I guess my secondary driver is the niche that I work in. So you know, a lot of the companies that I work with have developed products that ultimately serve and help patients and help to better, you know, health outcomes. And so that's always been a big drive for me, having worked in the pharma industry and, you know, feeling like I was impacting patients directly. It's nice to still, although working in marketing, it's still nice to feel that I'm making a difference.
Yeah, no, that's some really powerful shares there. So thank you for that. So, I mean, just to wrap things up then, Lisa. So are there any sort of bits that you want to share with regards to anything that you've got new, or any news that you want to share, or just some ways that people can get hold of you or get in touch with you if they'd like to find out more?
Yeah, well, this year we have updated the website to include some of the other services that we offer. So it would be really good if people could visit the website and familiarise themselves with our offerings. So we can be found at socialelements.co.uk. And then for 2024, we already train clients quite a lot. So we'll go to businesses, or we'll do it virtually, and we'll train them in how to use social media marketing, or some of the more specific training on how to use LinkedIn, for example. We've done quite a lot of that already this year, but for 2024, we'd like to do even more of that. We've got a whole host of people who are expert in delivering social media training, and also copywriting training, which I think is really interesting. So I think that's probably something that I'd like to draw people's attention to. And I've also made a commitment this November and December so for any clients that come on board with us last month and this month, I'm giving 10% of the contract value to the charity that I support. So I support the Multiple Sclerosis Society. So I'm sort of making a commitment to donate 10% of contract value for any new clients that come on board.
Wow. Well, that's fantastic. Thank you so much for that, Lisa. So thanks very much for today. Thanks for joining us on this episode of the Business Spotlight. And thanks to our viewers for joining us as well. And as Lisa's just said, if you'd like to get in touch, you can go onto their website and go and visit them at Social Elements. My name's Mark Sharp. This has been the Business Spotlight. Until next time, we'll see you all again soon.
Thanks.
Thanks, Lisa.